Hi everyone, I'm Ofalango and welcome you all in Grammar in Detail. If you are new and not subscribed the channel, so subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get some more videos about grammar. Today we will be discussing the topic that is known as sequences of pronouns, how you are going to sequence them and give them the order. For that we will be discussing today the sequences of pronoun. So let's begin with the sequences of pronoun. We will be having the first one and let's start and discuss it. We have got some 14 rules for the sequences of pronouns which we will be discussing one by one. So let's start with the first one, and that is known as if first person, second person and third person are present in a sentence, the sequence will be like this. If there are three personal pronouns, first, second and third, what will be the sequence? You are going to bring the second person first, and then third person at the end you will be bringing the first person. So sequence you will be taking care second person, third person, then first person. Now we have got the example. See, you, E and I can go anywhere. You, E and I can go anywhere. So over here, you will be bringing the second person, then first person, at the end you will be bringing the first person. So you is second person, E is third person and I is your first person. After that, the next example, you, she and I will attend the class. Now you will bring the second person first and then third person at the end, first person. So these sequences you will care about. After that, we have got the second example. If there are first person and second person in the sentence, the sequence will be like this. What will be the sequence? You will bring the second person first and then after that first person. Example is, you and I may go to academy. Second person is you and then I, the first person. And second example for that, you and I were studying together. You is the second person and then after that you will bring the first person, that is I. So second person and then first person. Next rule we have got, that is third one. If there are second person and third person present in a sentence, the sequence will be like this. First you will bring the second person and then third person. So second person will always come first and then the third person. See, three persons are there. You will bring the second person, then after that third person and then first person. In second rule, second person and first person, and in third rule you will bring the second person and then third person. So this you will care a lot. You, E and we, okay, you and E were taking classes together. You and E were taking classes together. So here and won't come. And second example is, you and she disturbed the class. First, second person and then third person, whether that is masculine or feminine, and then second person and then third person. Rule number 4 is there. If there are first person and third person present in a sentence, the sequence what you are going to bring, the sequence will be third person and then first person. See, then third person and then first person. First person will always come at the end, second person first, then third and then first person. So third person and then first person. Example is, E and I had written an essay. E is third person and I is first person. After that we have got the next example. She and I were announcing the result. She is the third person coming first and then I is the first person coming second. So over there the sequence will be like this, third person and then first person. Next we have got rule number 5. If there are two third persons, a plural and a singular, present in a sentence, what you are going to have the sequence? First you will bring the third person plural and then third person singular. So plural will come first and then singular. Example, they and E supported us in our studies. So first you will bring the third person plural and then third person singular. Supported us in our studies. They and she killed him together. Now first you will bring they and then third person feminine. Clear whether that is masculine or feminine, but that always will come after third person. So that is known as the rule number 5. Let's discuss rule number 6. If there are two third persons, a feminine and a masculine in a sentence, the sequence will be like this. What will be the sequence? First you will bring the third person masculine and then third person feminine. Example is he and she like each other. First you will bring the masculine and then feminine, and both are third person singular. So first masculine and then feminine. He and she like each other. He and she left the city. Now he is the masculine and after that feminine. She left the city. We have got rule number 7. If there are third persons, a third person personal and a third person non-personal, the sequence will be like this. Now what are the personal and non-personal? E is the personal and it is the non-personal. So first you will bring the personal pronoun and then non-personal pronoun, which is not used for a person. It can be used for an animal, thing. Rare cases you might use, as we have discussed them already in our previous lectures. So first you will bring the personal pronoun and then non-personal pronoun. He and it were sitting on a bench, on the bench. Now maybe it is a dog or another animal which we are talking about. So he and it were sitting on the bench. She and it sleep on this bed. Now in foreign countries, in European countries or in the American countries, they prefer their animals a lot. Clear? So even they sleep with them. So you could say that she and he sleep on this bed. And next we have got third example. They and it are close friends. They and it, maybe they are persons and it is might be an animal. That can be any animal, but most of the time dogs are very close to the human beings. So they and it are close friends. So see, he, she and they are your personal pronouns, and non-personal pronoun is it, which is always at the end. So first you will bring the non-personal, personal, and then non-personal. Clear? And they all are third person pronouns. Rule number 8, we have got, if there are 4 third persons, a masculine, feminine, plural and non-personal, like he, she, it and they, what is your sequence? Clear? So if you've got the third person masculine like he, third person feminine like she, third person plural like we have got they, and non-personal pronoun it, when they all are present together. So what is your sequence in the sentence? First you will bring third person plural, then third person masculine. Third person plural means first you will bring they, and then third person masculine, then he, and then feminine you will bring she. At the end you will bring it. So they, he, she and it. That will be your sequence. Example is, they, he, she and it went together in the jungle. Maybe there were a lot of people. First will talk about the plural they, then he may be known to you and she may be known to you separately, you're talking about, and they went together in jungle. So at the end then non-personal. So plural, then masculine, feminine and non-personal. Second example we will give, they, he, she and it died in the flood. We're talking about they, whom we may not know, he and then she, and at the end you'll bring it, died in the flood. So first you'll bring third person plural, third person masculine, third person feminine and third person non personal. So that will be your sequence. Let's discuss rule number 9. First person singular always comes at the end, but first person plural always comes at the end. See, beginning. as we discussed in previous rule that first you'll bring second person, then third person, then first person, but that is first person singular. But when your first person plural is there, that will always come first. Now what will be the sequence? First person plural, then second person, then third person. Singular of first person is always at the end, like in rule number first we discussed. But here in rule number 9, when it is plural, you will bring the first person plural first, then second person, and at the end third person. Example: we, you, and he are surprised. First person plural, second person, and then third person. If it was I, so you'd say you, he, and I. But that will be the sequence as we have discussed even in previous one. You, he, and I are surprised. But when it is plural, you will bring it first. We, you, and I are surprised. Second example: we, you, and she had taken admission. First will come we, then you, and then she. We, you, and she had taken admission. Rule number 10. Okay, next example we have got we, you, and they. Now we is first person plural, you second person, and they is third person. Can never miss any moment. Rule number 10, we have got if first person and third person or first person and second person are present in a sentence, the following possessive adjectives and reflexive pronouns will be of first person plural. I will make you understand how. Like for example, when we have got third person or first person, so over there the possessive or reflexive case you will use of first person plural. First person plural you are going to use. Like example is he and I. So over there the possessive case will be of possessive adjective will be of first person plural. He and I will start our business. So over there the possessive case you will use of possessive adjective. Second example: she and I were doing our activities, not their activities or your activities. So she and I were doing our activities. Our is the possessive adjective. Third example: they and I. Now see, it is third person, and third person. Third person masculine, third person feminine, third person plural. And after that, sequence that when it is singular, so first person will come at the end. He and I, she and I, they and I. With them at the end, when the possessive case you are going to put, that you are going to put the possessive adjective. And reflexive also we will have the examples, but for the time being, are, and at the third sentence as well you will bring the are. They and I have completed our masters. Clear? And after that we have got the reflexive cases, like it is masculine. He is third person and I first person. Third person and first person learned English ourselves. Ourselves is the reflexive case of first person plural, and first person plural, not myself. You'll say ourselves. He and I had supported ourselves. She and I had supported ourselves. We had supported ourselves, means she supported me, I supported her, so ourselves we supported. And then over there the reflexive case will be of possessive first person reflexive case. They and I are playing cricket ourselves. They and I means for them and for me there is no any coach or mentor. We are learning and practicing ourselves. So they and I are playing cricket ourselves. Clear? We will have second person now. Third person we discussed. For second person or first person also you will bring the first person possessive case of adjective, and that is plural, and the reflexive case of the first person you will be using. Like you and I can make our own home. Clear? Our is now the possessive adjective. For second person it is also used. And for I, first person also, you'll be using the possessive adjective our own home. Last example for the reflexive case: you and I were encouraged ourselves. Were encouraging ourselves. were encouraging ourselves. So over there, you'll be using the reflexive case of first person plural. So whether it is third person and second person, third person and third person and first person, third person. So over there you'll use the possessive case of adjective of plural one. And reflexive case also you'll use for the first person singular, first person plural with he and I, with she and I, and with they and I. And in the same way, when second and first person, you'll use the possessive adjective plural case, and you and I, reflexive case of first person plural. So hope you got the rule number 10. Let's discuss the next one, that is number 11. If second person and third person are present in a sentence, the following possessive adjective and reflexive pronouns will be of second person. When there are second and third person, like you have got second person like you, and third person like he, she, it, and they. The reflexive case and the possessive adjective which you will use, those will be of second person, and that second person of plural, not singular, because you are more than one. Now example is, you and he didn't do any work honestly. You and he didn't do your work honestly. Now you is second person, whether singular or plural. He is the third person. So there the possessive case of adjective of plural you'll use of second person. Next example, you is second person, she is feminine. Ignored your parents. Your parents, your is the possessive case of possessive adjective of plural case. Clear? Have you and they. Now see, for question also you can use you is the second person, they is the plural of personal pronoun. Brought your admission fee. Now see, have you and they brought your admission fee. Now your is the possessive case of the possessive adjective of the plural case. Now next we have got, you and he have insulted yourselves. You is the second person, he is the third person masculine. For that you will use the reflexive case of plural one of second person, yourselves. You and he have insulted yourselves. You and she will be backbiting yourselves. Now you is the second person, she is the third person feminine, will be backbiting yourselves. Yourselves is the possessive adjective of plural of second person. Third example, you and they. You is second person, they is the third person plural. Must assist yourselves. Clear? Must help yourselves. So that is the second possessive case of reflexive case of second person plural. Rule number 12 we have got, if there are two persons, first person singular and third person, like first person and third person, followed by a possessive adjective of first person, the sequence will be like this. What will be the sequence? First you will bring the possessive adjective of first person, like first you will bring the possessive adjective of first person, like my. Then third person, like third person is any name, Ahmad, Bilal, any name. Then first person you will bring the sequence out, like example, my friend and I cannot miss any match. Now my is the first person possessive case, then you will bring the third person. After that first person you will bring. Some of the people say I and my friend, and my friend they will bring at the ends most of the time. So you will say, my friend and I cannot miss any match. And my brother, now see, first person, then third person, first person possessive adjective, and then third person, after that first person. My brother and I will start a new business. My teacher, see, possessive case, and then third person. After that we have got first person, and my teacher and I completed our works. We have got rule number 13. If there are two persons, second person and third person, followed by a possessive adjective of second person, that will be followed by a possessive adjective of second person. So the sequence will be like this. You will bring the second person and then possessive adjective of second person with the third person. Clear? So example is you is second person and your brother. So second person with the third person, your brother. So you will bring the possessive adjective of second person and then third person cheated him. You and your brother cheated him. You will not say your brother and you cheated him. Second example, you and your father. See, second person and then second possessive possessive adjective of second person, and at the end then third person. Ignored our mistakes. Rule number 14 we have got, if there are two persons, a personal pronoun and a third person followed by a possessive adjective. So of the third person, the sequence will be like this. What will be the sequence? You will bring the third person first and then third person of possessive adjective. So example is E and is father, not is father and E. So you will bring third person and then third person with the possessive case of third person went to bazaar. And she and her mother attended the marriage party. She will come first and her mother's at the second one, like her and then mother attended the marriage party. So third person masculine and then possessive case of the same and then with the third person. So last example is they and their friend played cricket together. They then their friend, not their friend and they played cricket. So they and their friend played cricket together. So these are the total 14 rules of your possessive adjectives. Hope you got the sequences of pronouns. If you have any confusion, you can comment and you'll be replied. So hope you got today's lecture. Wish you best of luck. See you next time with the next lecture. Goodbye.